Hello dear students, hope you all are fine. Today we are going to do the chapter Sorting Materials into Groups, chapter 4 in your science book. So as you can see here, the few materials are kept, different objects that are made with the different materials. So if we want to separate it into different groups, how we can do? The first division we can do on the basis of materials they are made up of. For instance, you can separate the material of the wood. So this wood object you have separated. Second thing, this toy, this is made with the fabric, so you can keep it in the another group. Third, you can separate the plastic objects. So this is made with the plastic, and this pen, these two pens are made with the plastic, so we have kept this in another group. So this is a third group. And then you can separate the glass materials, you can separate. Fourth thing you can do, the iron objects you can keep together. So these clips, iron clips, and this key. So this pen is also made with the metal, so this you can keep in the separate group. This lock also can be kept in the separate group. And this book is made with the paper, this is the metal, and cardboard, you can separate it. So you can see we have made 7 different groups. One with the wood, second toy with the made with the fabric, third this one is the plastic, so fourth this one with the iron and metal objects, and this fifth with the book, sixth is the glass, and seventh is the metals. Okay students, next are hard and soft materials. Soft, you can see these type of materials can be easily compressed or scratched, means you can easily move it, or scratch means you can scribble here something with your finger. So these are soft material. Cotton, sponge, toys, teddy bear, they come in the soft materials category. Next is the hard materials. Hard, you can see here, if I want to decrease or increase its size with my hand, I cannot do so. It cannot be moved at all, means it cannot be compressed. Compress means to decrease its size, we can't do. And cannot be scratched, means if I try to write something with my finger, nothing will be visible. So these are hard materials. Wood, cardboard come in the hard materials. Okay, next one is the next are the shiny material. Appearance means you can see this metal, the bells made with the metals, copper, you can say this is very different from the wood. So appearance means how, when you see the things, how it looks. So all the metals, copper, in the temple bells, they are made with the copper or aluminium that you use to wrap your food. So they have a shine or luster on them. So you can see this is shiny. So this copper is different from the wood. It doesn't have any shine. For wood is dull. You can see, so this is the appearance, means how the materials look. So next is some objects float whereas some sink in the water. So see, if I'll put coin, what happen? It sinks the bottom. And I'm putting the key, it also sinks at the bottom. These iron pins also sink at the bottom. And now I'm putting some dry leaves. So these leaves are floating on the water. So you can see some objects that have weight, heavy weighted objects, they sink at the bottom. For example, you can see coin or the iron pins and the keys sink at the bottom, whereas the leaves are floating on the surface of the water. So these objects, some objects float whereas some sink in the water. Next is, so we can divide the objects into 3 types on the basis how light passes through them. So this glass or water, this is transparent. You can see the calendar across the water. You can see from here what is behind. So you can easily see through the water or glass. So all the glass windows at your home or the water, so these types of things are transparent objects, means through which you can see clearly what is behind it. Okay, next is the opaque objects. Opaque, if you try to see across the wood, you want to see what is behind it. Are you able to see? No, you cannot see anything on this area. You are seeing it through the transparent object, that is glass, but you are not able to see anything from the wood across it, what is behind it. So these are opaque objects. Next is the translucent objects. Translucent, just see the cover page of your or last laminated sheet of your book. So this comes in the category of translucent objects. Translucent means you can see the objects through it but not very clearly. You can see through it partially. Partially means half, not completely. So with the use, this sheet becomes a little bit oil and some particles comes on it, so it becomes translucent. Translucent means you can see the objects but not very clearly. You can see it partially. Okay, so this is the translucent through which you can see partially. This glass, you can easily read what is behind written on the calendar. So this is the transparent glass. And opaque wood or cardboard, you cannot see anything what is behind it. So these are the opaque objects. Okay, next is, that is why shopkeepers keep the things in the transparent container so that buyers can see it easily. Okay, next is the solubility. So you can see I have taken salt in the glass. Now see what will happen if we'll mix it with the water. So this is the solubility test. We want to distinguish what things are soluble in water and which things are not soluble in the water. So with the mixing, so you can see salt is completely dissolved in the water. So these type of materials, salt and sugar, that are completely mixed in the water, they are soluble materials. So you cannot see any amount of salt here, you cannot see it separately. So these are soluble materials. Next is insoluble material. So this is the plain water. So if I'm adding few drops of oil in it, so I'm adding few drops of castor oil in it. See what will happen. So you can see the oil drops floating on the surface. Oil will not mix in the water. So these type of materials are insoluble material. So you can see the oil drops floating on the surface. So these type of materials are insoluble material. I hope you have understood it. Thank you. Have a nice day.